Hello everybody. So I had this set up really nice for vertical videos, and then I turned it horizontal because I was like, let's make a YouTube video. And now you can't see how cute it was. Look. But alas, it's just the macrame, which is still cute. Anyways, I just wanted to come back on here to say hello. And also make a little video about my Language 2021 goals. And also because I've recently been making more videos on Instagram because I think my brain was just exhausted from... I started a PhD, by the way. That's some news. Yeah, so I think my brain was just exhausted from writing and researching all day. And by the time I got to studying languages, and I was like, oh, I'll make a little progress diary update post on Instagram, my brain was like, no, we don't want to type, we don't want to do anything. How about some human interaction? How about using your vocal cords every once in a while? And so I started making update videos, and it was actually really therapeutic, and I was like, wow, maybe I should do this more often. So this is just the kind of mood I am at this stage of my life, so welcome back. Yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to pop on, yeah, like I said, to make a 2021 goal video. So basically I had originally set out my goals, and then I kind of watched some other people's goal videos, like Lindy and Elise and Ophelia, I think I saw hers, and just some other really cool people. And it inspired me to kind of reevaluate how I wanted to go about my goals, and what my intentions were for the new year. So kind of revamped, and I just wanted to come back and update, and then maybe in 3 months I can look back on this and be like, nah girl, you didn't do any of that, you actually did this, which is totally fine, that's life. So anyways, there are 4 languages that I'll be focusing on for 2021. None of them are new per se, because I have pretty much learned all of them in the past. So those languages are French, Chinese, Spanish, and German. And I guess I'll kind of address them all in that order. So basically with French, and kind of in general with this year, I've been doing a ton of input. Like when I eat breakfast, generally speaking this is for French because it's my strongest language, but like eat breakfast, I watch a video in French. If I'm not with people during lunch and dinner, I watch a video or multiple videos in French. Listen to music in French. I listen to podcasts in French. My phone is in French, my laptop is in French, sometimes I find research articles in French because I'm like, yes, science! That's cool, let's read it, I can understand it. So like, I'm just getting input on input on input in French, and it's boosted my level enormously, which has been great, but it's kind of been a very passive boost in a way. So listening comprehension and actually being able to absorb what's being said by native speakers, make that language my own, and reproduce it. So I've been noticing in conversations and stuff, people are like, where are you from? Are you from the States? But are you really from the States? Which has been like a really, really big confidence boost, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, look at me. But it's just something that I've noticed in that area, or that aspect of French, that has really improved this year. On the flip side, I think what I know that I really want to improve on for next year is the active output. So I really want to improve my speaking, which it's doing fine. I just want to improve confidence, fluidity, how words come out, not taking time to think about word choice when I want to think of a precise word, because you know there's like that difference between you know a word, you know what you want to say, but you use all the words to explain around it, versus being like, that one precise word that I know I want to use that'll fit perfect, just be like, bam, whip that out. And just different things like that, like increase confidence, increase that fluidity, just those kind of things. I also want to work on writing, and not just like diary entries, which is great and it has their place, where they have their place, but writing, yeah, like really in-depth blog posts, which can kind of be seen as a diary entry, but just things that are more academic and more refined and sound like a native speaker wrote them. So that's really my goal with French, is to just boost it to that next level. And I was talking with my French teacher about this, and it kind of feels like over the past year or two, my level of French has not stagnated per se, but it's been moving very slowly forward. And I think this year I just want to like give it this huge boost. And so yeah, okay, I guess I do want to share this goal. I'm gonna prepare for the C2 DELF exam. I say that with some hesitation just because I'm like, C2, what is this? I don't even know. But ideally, if it works out, I could take the C2 exam in November of next year. Right now my level is around a C1 according to my French teacher, and I would agree with that. That's where I would classify myself. Obviously some things are a lot stronger than others, but whatever, it's okay to have, like, you know, varying levels within a language. But yeah, I wanna do it. I think regardless of whether or not I'm actually able to take the exam, it will be a huge boost for my French. I think I'll learn a lot. It'll be a lot of work, so we'll see how that goes with my research. But at the same time, it's time that I'm putting in anyway, and that I've been putting in this year. And I think just shifting the focus while using that same kind of, yeah, time frame, I think it's doable. I think I can do it. I am gonna document my progress, not to be, again, just to just to show how the ups and downs and the struggles and the successes and whatever, it's all an experiment. Let's see how this goes. But I'm super excited about it. Like, I actually really am excited about it. And I think for me personally, just being able to take the exam and say that I did it and that I succeeded. Hopefully I succeed, but I believe in myself. I can do it. I just think that would be so cool, and be like, I've been learning French for so long, and like finally I've kind of reached that. And obviously you never stop learning a language. But yeah, I just think it would be a really cool thing to do. So those are my goals for French. Moving on to Chinese. I had a bunch of other goals for French, and I just rambled on about the C2. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that as to things I want to do to progress towards the C2 while also keeping the language very human, because I think it can be easy to get caught in test mode and take the humanity out of a language, if that makes sense, because at the end of the day, being that proficient in French, for me it's about making connections both on a personal level and hopefully on a professional level, where one day I'll be able to like live and work in France or Canada or Switzerland or Belgium. That's the one. Yeah. So I think that'll be a separate topic. Okay, moving on to Chinese. I was chatting about this with my mom actually, but I've come to the realization that the only time I really study Chinese is during my lessons. Actually, my flatmate, she speaks French and Chinese, and so oftentimes We'll chat in either language, sometimes both, sometimes it'll just be a mix of all three, English, French, and Chinese, and our flatmates look at us like, what the heck is going on? They just kind of int out of the room like, we don't know, it's the crazy language nerds in there. So I do get exposure in that regard. That being said, that's kind of the only time I'm like, yes, Chinese. And it's not to say that I don't like the language. I love Chinese. It's interesting, it's fun, but I'm just not feeling it, if that makes sense. And so my philosophy is that you can't buy a language. Like, you can throw as much money as you want into books, into programs, into apps, into lessons, whatever, and you can show up and do it, but if you don't actually put in the work, it's like taking a piano lesson once a week and then not practicing, and then being like, why aren't I Mozart yet? You know what I mean? And so I've kind of recognized that, and I'm like, instead of spending money for these lessons, which, don't get me wrong, it's great to have that weekly check-in in a way, but I think for now it'll be better for me to stop those and to start spending time and to rebuild up my personal relationship with Chinese in a way, if that makes sense, and to try and refine that spark. So that's kind of my goal for 2021, is to explore and actually sit down and learn. Not just, I mean, I want to read some graded readers, maybe find some videos with English and Chinese subtitles, or I could use language learning with Netflix. But series kind of take a lot more mental investment and emotional investment, because those dramas can, sometimes I just can't handle it. But yeah, maybe watching some Afu Thomas videos or something like that. But just being more active with the language and being more progressive with my learning, being more active with my learning basically, and to try and get that spark reignited and back again. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Chinese. Moving on to Spanish. Spanish I've had a very strange relationship with. My parents put me into a Spanish class when I was in kindergarten, first grade, and I adored it. Finished that semester, or that year of classes, or however long I was in there for, and I could speak decently well for a kindergartner, and then they didn't sign me up for other classes, and I was like, okay. I was just being a dumb kindergartner, first grader, went along with my life. I actually grew up in San Diego, so obviously I was right next to Mexico, and yeah, I never formally learned it. I was exposed to it every day, so I mean, with that and with French, there's a lot of things I can understand, especially when reading, but it's just a bit frustrating that I'm 27, I have all this background with it, and I still can't speak Spanish at all. And so, yeah, it's just a bit of that frustration and that, you know what, let's just do it, like, why not? So, yeah, my goal with Spanish for next year is to get to a B1 level. And since I'm starting from like a false beginner and I have my background in French, I think that's a doable goal. And what I mean by B1 is to be able to have relatively complex-ish conversations about topics that I enjoy with other people. And yeah, like, maybe I'll have to use different words to talk around what I want to say in order to get the point across. Maybe my grammar won't be perfect, like, it won't be perfect, but I'll be in the right direction, and my mistakes won't necessarily hinder how the person I'm talking with perceives what I'm saying. So that's kind of my goal there. I started off taking a couple lessons, and then again I realized the same thing was happening where I was just doing the lesson once a week and I wasn't really putting time into learning it myself, and I think it was just me relying on those lessons for the help. And I think what I need to do is, yeah, just build up a routine for myself, build up that foundation, so even if everything crumbled and fell away, I'd still have my base that I build up, and I'd still have that spark and desire to learn that I kind of nurtured and created. And then once I have that, to add on the lessons as a bonus on top of that to help solidify what I've been learning. So again, that might be another video of how I'm learning Spanish from scratch as a false beginner, and it's all very confusing and kind of frustrating because I've stopped and started a bunch of times before, but now I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Spanish. Moving on to German. This one's a bit, not tricky, I don't know. I decided this a couple days ago, and it actually came about from a conversation with my mom. I talk with my mom a lot about languages. Sometimes she probably gets annoyed at me by it, but I don't know, maybe not, because as I was chatting with her, she was like, you know, I think I really want to learn a language, and she was talking about German because she learned German in high school and got very good at it. And actually, my great-grandfather came from Germany, and so in that regard, it's part of our family culture and history, and I don't know, I just think it would be really cool to actually be able to speak German. I did a semester of German at uni, I don't know, 7 years ago, a while ago, and I studied abroad in Austria over the summer, and I did multiple visits to Germany, and it was just, it was such a lovely experience. It's such a lovely language. It's a hilarious language, to be honest. Like, the words just sound, I don't know, so happy, and it's not sing-songy, it's not angry, it's just a nice language. And yeah, I think learning a heritage language would be really cool. I mean, technically French is a heritage language because I also have great-great-grandparents that came from France, something like that. But growing up I didn't have as much of a connection with it. It was really when I started learning French where I actually got to explore that part of my culture, or I guess my ancestors, I don't know. But German has been a lot closer, so yeah, I just want to explore that. I'm not taking it super seriously. I'm not being like, I have to reach this level by the end of next year. Honestly, just being able to have basic conversations and kind of, for me it's going to be more of a linguistic and cultural exploration. And my mom's going to learn it with me, or I'm going to learn it with my mom, however you want to look at it. My sister might join in as well, so it's going to be very much a family language learning cultural experience, which I'm super excited about. And it actually started off with me kind of joking like, man, it would be so nice if we had like this secret language that we could talk when we don't want people to understand what we're saying in English or something. And then that kind of snowballed, and then yeah, them being in quarantine, being like, you know what, we have some time, we could do this, and yeah, I'm just really excited. So we'll be self-studying it. I found a couple websites and a couple apps and a couple books, thanks to some of my other polyglot friends. Marissa, She has a channel called Relearn a Language, or How to Relearn a Language. I'll put it down below. But she's incredible, and she was actually talking about heritage languages, and it was like the first time I had seen someone talk so in depth about heritage languages, and I just felt very kind of seen and heard. And yeah, I don't know. Her channel is awesome. Go check that out. And then also Elise from Elise Speaks. She has some really good German resource videos as well. And her German is incredible. So yeah, that's also a great channel and resource for you guys as well if you're interested in that. But I think maybe once I actually get a routine down, I don't know why I looked over there, my laptop is there, and I'm like, help me, give me guidance. It's shut, so I'm on my own. But yeah, I think, words are being hard. But yeah, I might make a video once I actually have my routine down as to what I'm going to be doing, at least for now, for each language. And I think I will check in with myself, progress, like reevaluate maybe every 3 months just to see how it's going, see if I need to change anything. But yeah, those are the 3 languages. It's nonsense. Those are the 4 languages I will be working on next year, all to varying degrees. Let me know what your guys' goals are in the comments. I'm like a real YouTuber, what is this? And yeah, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I hope that you guys have a really good New Year no matter where you are. I think if we can go into 2021 feeling hopeful, I mean, obviously things aren't going to magically change, but yeah, attitude can change a lot, even if it's just on the inside. So yeah, I will stop here. Have a great day, and bye!